What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melvin here for another review, and today I'm reviewing the movie Coco, released in 2017. It was a massive success in the box office and popular throughout the world. But to make this quick, I'm not going to do any introduction. Y'all know the drill. Subscribe, hit the bell, like this video. Let's go. So the movie takes place. We have an opening title card, which, of course, the Disney logo. This time with a mariachi orchestra doing the theme of When You Wish Upon a Star, which was pretty cool. Now we get to the opening of the movie, narrated by our protagonist, Miguel Rivera, explaining the story of his great grandparents. We hear the story of his great grandparents, one named Imelda, who was I was trying to say I forget the word. I think it's the head of the family. But yeah, Miguel explains the story of his great grandparents. They were a lover of music. His great grandfather loved to play his guitar. One day, he left home to to perform the world and never returned, leaving his wife and daughter alone. Soon after, his wife knew he would never come back, so she got rid of anything anything about music and banned it from the house. And what should he do? And what did she do to support her family? Was it making candy? No. Fireworks? No. Making shoes? Ding, ding, ding. Yep. She started making shoes because shoes kept the family together. Soon after, she showed it to her daughter. Then she presented her fiance to her mother, which the tradition continued by family to family. And after years after her death, after her passing, which became known as Rivera's shoes. Then we cut to the ofrenda, which is the altar where you place the photo of your deceased relatives so they can cross over and return home and receive the offerings you leave for them, like food, flowers, gifts, on Day of the Dead. Then we get to meet Mama Coco, who was the daughter of Imelda, the great grandmother of Miguel Rivera. And of course, we get to meet his other family members. Mostly everybody's in the shoe business because, face it, we also meet the patriarch. That's the word I was looking for, patriarch of the family, his grandmother, Eileen, I think. Yeah, who, like Mama Imelda, does not like music. Literally, she upholds the rule of no music. There was one skit where Miguel's blowing on like a jug, making some musical rhythm. She hears it, no music. Listening to a passing. Fun fact: the radio that he is hearing is a piece of planet delivery truck. Same thing, no music. A bunch of guys singing in the alley. Oh boy, she rushes out and say, "No music!" Oh boy, and they go out screaming like little girls. And at the dinner table, he says that don't feel hungry, but he don't want to insult her, so he always asks for more, even if he's full or not. But Mama Coco, he has a strong bond with her. Talking about what he did today, even playing luchador with her and letting her win because, hey, come on, she's in a wheelchair and she's forgetful, like calling him Julio, but his name's Miguel. And of course, he has a secret. He wanted to be a musician, like his idol, Ernesto de la Cruz, the greatest musician of all Mexico. Which we get some flashbacks of who he was, including some old films, just like old Mexico films back in the old days, starring famous mariachis, until his untimely demise in 1945 or 44, where he's performing a huge concert until one of the crew accidentally hit a lever, which sends a giant bell crashing on top of him, killing him around the spot. And every Day of the Dead, people remember him and honor him. While he was at the plaza, he was talking to a customer who was a mariachi about what he wanted to do because, face it, all his family's members want to be in the shoe business and he doesn't want to do it because he has a dream of his own. He explains that you should follow a dream. What would Ernesto do? Seize your moment. So he let Miguel try out his guitar. Let's see what he can do. Before he can do it, his grandmother and his other relatives appeared around the plaza. They spot him. She mistakenly thought Miguel America was trying to teach Miguel how to play the guitar before attacking him with a chancleta. Do you guys? It's the slipper. Oh boy. Don't be fooled by the slipper. The slipper is the mighty weapon of Latina women use for discipline. Oh boy. Trust me. We all get the beating from the slipper. Which scares off the mariachi. While walking back home, she keeps telling him that even berates the stray dog, which Faith Miguel made friends with. While talking about what happened, that even his parents sided with the grandmother that he should not go in the plaza, maybe stay with them in the shop making shoes, which yeah, making shoes. And here's the thing: his mother is pregnant, and she's right there working making shoes, but they don't care. It's part of the family tradition. Let's make shoes. His grandma takes him to the ofrenda, where she explains about the traditions of leaving offerings, the importance of leaving their photos there so they can find their way here. Which, yeah, they're not until when Miguel mentions Grandma Coco's father, his grandma tells him to shut his mouth until Mama Coco starts to call out her dad, which is a personal thing since she never got to see him again, and no one knows what happened, which they didn't care. That's the weird part. But yeah, while doing that, he accidentally knocked, while cleaning the portrait of the ofrenda, he accidentally knocked the portrait of Mama Imelda, which, when he knows it was folded, when he looked at the photo closely, he knows the guitar resembles the one that Ernesto de la Cruz has. When Grandma Coco noticed the photo, she actually said, "Papa, Papa." Which, yeah, that's when Miguel starts to get an idea that this could be his great-grandfather. That Ernesto de la Cruz is his great-grandfather. And yeah, I forgot to mention that he has a hiding place where he has memorabilia of De La Cruz, even a handmade guitar he made because he was before at the talent show at the Plaza. He embraces that he found out that his grandfather was Ernesto de la Cruz, but later they had to dump everything into the ground when they found out that even his grandmother was against this when Miguel told her that he wanted to be a musician, which she grabs the guitar and smashed it. She tried to cuddle him, but he rejects it and runs away. He arrives at the plaza, but he asks anybody to let him use their guitar, but no. Meanwhile, he's still running away until he realized, hey, that goes for my great grandpa. May I have to borrow his guitar? So he went to the graveyard during Day of the Dead. And what does he do? He goes to De La Cruz's mausoleum. During the fireworks are exploding, he manages to bust the window to get inside. And lo and behold, the guitar is right on top of his crypt. Literally, next to a portrait, right under his portrait. Yeah. As he grabbed the guitar, he manages to play it, and strangely, the flowers start to glow when he touches the guitar. Oh yeah. Then suddenly, everybody started to notice that his tomb has been busted in. Yeah, his tomb has been busted in, and until he started saying, "I'm sorry, sorry," but they don't see him because oh boy, they don't see him because they don't see him because he's not there anymore. He managed to leave the tomb, but before that, he accidentally fell into her grave, which, yep, he managed to get help, but until he realized the one who pulled him out was actually a dead woman. Literally, a skeleton of a woman. And this is just freaky, literally. He started to freak out until he realized he's not alive. He's actually in the land of the dead. Well, seeing dead people. As he trying to figure out what's going on, he accidentally bumped into his great grandpa, which, yeah. Then one by one, he started seeing his relatives just by recognizing from their photo. That was just easy. Then arrive his two uncles, the twins, which, mentioning that Mom and Melba cannot cross over. So, and then because what the ants suspect it has something to do with Miguel being here, so they went to Mama Minda at the land of the dead. Which, after that, Miguel sees the bridge made out of these flower petals. Like, I don't know what to call these flowers, but yeah. When they arrive, he sees the land of the dead. Which, fun fact, if you notice the detail of this whole place, it's by layer. You got the bottom, it's the Aztec Empire, and goes up from the Spanish colonization, the Mexican Revolution, the Victorian era. It keeps going over the years, rebuilding a top of each other. Looks pretty cool and dope. And we also, when they arrive, they see the customs area where everybody passes through. They scan your face, see their photos at their living relatives' ofrenda, which is very important. It's like a passport. If your photos in the ofrenda, you can go. If not, you're stuck. Then we see some alebrijes, a bunch of them, which are spirit guides of animals, which are different types. Of course, we get to see the next character we see is Hector, trying to get through customs again, dressed as Frida Kahlo. That didn't work. He tried to make a break run for it, but it didn't work because, face it, if your portrait is not in the ofrenda, and if you try to get through it, you won't even get through because you'll sink. Literally. So yeah. They arrive at customs, at the office, administration office, where, oh boy, they see Mama Imelda berating a worker and taking out her anger on a poor Macintosh computer, literally with a hilt of her shoe. Oh boy, what is that shoe made of? Iron? Damn. When she turns around, when she sees her family asking her what's going on because they told her that they never went to the ofrenda, and they also have a new problem. When they show Miguel, that's when Miguel sees Imelda, and Imelda's like, "What's going on?" And then when the social worker told them they're cursed because Miguel stole, that should be a day of giving, which is the guitar. Yeah. After that, when it's confirmed that Miguel wants to be a musician, which Imelda rejects because remember, she wants nothing to do with her disappearing husband. But the only way he can go back is a blessing, which, but the blessing has to be on her terms, which means No, he cannot play any music anymore, which he has no choice. He takes the pedal and he's back in the land of the living. But, as usual, he takes the guitar, boom, he's back in the land of the dead. She gets pissed off, which he confronts her that why do you hate music? And he explains this, but and then she has to go to the bathroom, which one of the uncles say, there's no bathroom here, and he disappears. Meanwhile, we get to see Hector talking to the head of security about him trying to escape many times. Even there's a law against wearing fake eyebrows. Yeah. After that, he knows Miguel, and he asks him if it turns out he wants to see his great grandfather, who is Ineto de la Cruz. Hector tells him that he's a friend of his back when they were alive. But he made a deal with him if he goes back to the land of the living, he put his photo in the ofrenda, which he shows a photo of him when he was alive. So they both leave. Before that, Imelda called her spirit animal Pepita. Oh boy. Pepita is a big ass one, I tell you what. Literally. And yeah. And the hunt begins. Hector helps Miguel pretend to be a skeleton, which skeleton face. And they arrive at this looks like it, where he's supposed to be auditioning, practicing, which is also he has a friend there, which she spits up because because he didn't return the costume that he borrowed, which is the Frida one. Yeah. Meanwhile, Miguel starts to explore. The dog was with him. The dog starts to chase down a monkey, which turns out to be the spirit guide of Frida. Literally, the actual Frida. Well, she confronts Miguel, asking him, who are you? What are you doing here? Until she notices the dog. She starts to fall in love with the dog. She explains to Miguel about the the order of the Hilabrije and their spear guides. None of this only amazing, but also powerful, which she shows her spear guide, the monkey, breathing fire. She takes Miguel to where she's doing the rehearsal for the event called the closing event of Day of the Dead, which is the most important one of all, showing a lot, like a large ass cactus of her, and also papaya with performers dressed as her. For the music, she got to figure out until Miguel tells him about a couple of music which she can use, which actually worked. Meanwhile, Hector tried to tell him that he's not here. When Miguel told him he's not here because De La Cruz never shows up for practice because he always has his big party, which Frida actually never goes because I think she's more smarter. After that, one of the members of the orchestra, start to joke at Hector about he knows nothing about the party because when he mentions he told Miguel about how Hector died because he joked on some chorizo, which they started to laugh when Hector mentioned this is why he hates musicians. Until he mentioned about competition, the winner will go to perform at Ernesto's party. So they took a trolley, cable car, to the plaza where the event is, which during the event, which is actually pretty cool. You guys see a lot of detail, Easter eggs, During that, Hector asks what song he's going to do. They Remember Me, which it won't work because Miguel starts to know that everybody's going to do that song. I mean everybody. So he chooses the other song, Poco Loco. During that time, we see many people performing the same song in different verses, different instruments, and different styles. The band before Miguel was a polka band, which, damn, they're pretty good. Which, yeah, it was pretty dope, actually. Sorry. After that, during the event, which actually they liked Miguel's performance, they wanted another encore. Before that, oh boy, his relatives arrived looking for him, so he runs off. That's when Hector noticed that Miguel wants to leave right now. That's when the announcer mentions Miguel, which until Hector knows that he has other relatives, which he don't want them because they hate music. Hector wants to take him to him, but he didn't know. And also call Hector selfish because he only cares about him. When he tried to leave, Dante, that's the name of the dog, tries to hold him, but damn controller. After that, yeah, he managed to try to escape, but Pepita show up with Emilia on top, so damn. It's actually pretty cool. You're just right on a Brige, like a badass. Especially as a I don't know, is it a panther or a tiger? He managed to lock there was a gated door. He managed to lock it in front of Imelda. She tried to tell him to return, but he said that's when he confronted her. Why you hate music and why you don't want to ask for his blessing. That's when she started to sing La Llorona. That's when Miguel noticed it and said to her, I thought you hated music, which she reveals she actually loves music. And she mentioned the times when she and her husband have fun. She sings and he plays until he wants to play for the world, and that's why. But Miguel tells her that families should support one another, which, yeah, and he leaves. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention where he got the guitar. Heck, they got the guitar from another guy, which this is an important one. I forgot to mention. You need to be remembered to remain in the land of the dead, and if you ain't, you're forever forgotten. You just disappear. The second death, the final death, would just disappear, which is the saddest part. Miguel Maz arrive at Ernesto's place, which is the party, which, oh boy, we get a lot of Easter eggs of famous Mexican celebrities. We get to see, the first one we see is El Santo, the famous Mexican luchador. If you don't remember him, he appeared not just a luchador, he also had his own movies like El Santo versus the Mummy, versus Dracula, versus the vampires. Yeah, he had a lot of ones featuring famous monsters, which is actually pretty cool. Miguel tried to get in, which, yeah, he said, I'm his great grandson. That didn't work, he gets kicked out. He managed to run into the other bands, which they won. They actually liked his playing, so they actually cut a deal when the band arrived, showing they're winning. The guard let them through, which, while they're in this, I don't know what kind, a cable car going up to his Ernesto's place. Yeah, he was hiding in the tuba. The master arrived. They enjoyed the party, which, yeah, oh boy, this is gotta be fun. He managed to spot Ernesto walking around. He follows them, but yeah, he has to follow him, which into a crowded room full of movies projecting all his films, including a pool shaped like his guitar. He then Miguel remembered what Ernesto always says, seize your moment. So he started singing, playing the song, which catches Ernesto's attention. Yeah. Until Miguel lost his balance, he fell in the pool. Ernesto jumps in. Yeah. He managed to save him until he realized the pain felt has washed off. he sees who he act that he's a living person. That's when Miguel told him that he is his great grandson, which Ernesto didn't know he had a grandson. Which, yeah, that's when he started to embrace that he has a great grandson, which they both have fun. Which we get to see others like Cantinflas, the famed Mexican comedian, and others. Famous singer, including an Aztec warrior. I think that's Montezuma, I think. After the party was over, Miguel and Ernesto were talking about about that the whole world's their family and that, but also Miguel has to get back because that's a dilemma. Because if he's not returned back to the land of the living, he's stuck there forever, and he'll be turned to a skeleton permanently, literally. So Ernesto's about to give him his blessing until Hector appeared, dressed as Frida again, which Ernesto thought that was Frida. He managed to take off the disguise. That's when Ernesto recognizes Hector and confronts him that he never gave the credit that he deserved after his passing, and he only wanted to get his phone in the front so he can visit his daughter, which Ernesto tells him that he's been forgotten and he's been dead, which, yeah, trying to play the songs in the memory without giving credit is a bit shitty. After that, that's when Miguel knows the line that Ernesto used, which is from a movie where he was having a shot of tequila with some other guy until he realized what tequila that he drank was poison. That's when Hector started to remember what happened at night when he and Ernesto were in a room arguing because Hector wants to go back home because he was homesick. He wanted to go back to his family. Ernesto obliged him to stay because he needs his music, but Hector tells him he'll manage, which pisses Ernesto off, but shrugs it off and tells him he can't be mad at you. But before you go, let's have a drink. To you, my friend. Which turns out, when they arrive at the train station, Hector starts to hurt. Until then, he was dead. He collapsed and died because he was poisoned by Ernesto. As he realized, Ernesto poisoned him and took his songs that he wrote. Which, yeah, that was pretty dark. That's when Hector realized that Ernesto murdered him for his music, and yeah, called security, and then he got thrown out. When Miguel knows it in disbelief, that's when Ernesto did the same as a permanent resident, which, yeah, it told him to, yeah, there are many ways to seize your moments. Yes, yeah, that was pretty dark. They tossed him into this hole in the ground, which, yeah, that was pretty dark. And also, he found Hector in there. They both reconcile. That's when Hector talking about his daughter. He never gets to see her. Coco. That's when Miguel realized Coco. That's when he pulled out the photo that he had in his pocket and showed it to Hector until he realized Hector is actually Miguel's great grandfather, not Ernesto. When he realized that he was the one who wrote the song, they should be remembering him. Hector didn't wrote those songs to be famous, but he wrote those for his daughter. Then we show a flashback of him singing "Remember Me" to his daughter Coco, which will be I think it was the last time they saw each other, which was pretty sad. After that, Dante arrives, not just him, including Pepita, along with Mama Imelda. When she sees Hector, oh boy, she says "you" right there. Imelda, you look great. Oh boy. While they're flying, that's when Dante turns to a celebrity. which he falls off and he starts flying. The master arrives reunited with the rest of the family, but before Miguel can accept the terms, he wants to get Hector's photo back from Ernesto because he's part of the family. When Imelda said no, Miguel told her the truth that Ernesto, because Hector wanted to come back home, but he couldn't because he was murdered by Ernesto, which, when she found out, Hector confirmed this, but she didn't care because it was not even his fault. He wanted to come back, but made a deal that, yes, he will come back, but no more music, which he agrees. They arrive at the event, which, it was a full house, which, with the help of Frida, they managed to sneak in wearing her costumes. Damn, you could dress up as Frida and you just walk right in. After that, they managed to sneak in, try to find Ernesto, which Imelda did. She actually ran into him. When Ernesto confronted her, he said, "Do I know you?" That's when she smacked him with her damn Shogun 5 times. First one was trying to murder her great grandson, then trying to murder Hector. And oh boy, when Miguel sees the photo, everybody pops out. Ernesto looks nervous and chickens out, turning around. He calls security to deal with them, which a brawl starts. During the brawl, he manages to grab the photo, but accidentally was on the platform where she goes up the stage. Yeah. During that time, she managed to ride the stage, which, oh boy. She started the stage right until she starts singing La Llorona, which everybody starts to cheer. And of course, Doug Rose appears, doing a duet with her. As the song was over, she managed to kick him in the groin. Literally right there. Hector actually compliments her on singing, which he says she still got it, which those two start to reconcile their relationship. As they manage to get the photo, about to give the blessing, and Ernesto stops them. He manages to grab Miguel, tosses him over the side near an ledge of the side of the building. Hector tries to stop him, but he collapses because Coco started to forget him. It was running out of time. And also, things started to get worse when he, unaware of Ernesto, one of the relatives managed to point a camera at him and turn the camera on, which projected the whole thing at the whole stadium. Everybody was watching the whole thing. As Ernesto tosses Miguel over the side to his doom, which everybody freaked out. Pepito managed to rescue Miguel, but the foe was dropped, making it impossible to get the photo. Yeah. During that whole time, Ernesto managed to go back to stage, which, yeah, everybody started to know the truth. Everybody started to boo at him. And then Pepita shows up, starts to play with him, and tosses him to a bell, which the bell crushes him. Damn. From life and death, he get crushed by a bell. But then, time's running out because the sun's about to rise, and he needs a photo, which he didn't want to lose Hector. But he had no choice. He has the blessing. He returned back to the land of the living, takes the guitar with him, runs back home, which everybody sees him. He goes into Grandma Coco's room, tries to convince her trying to make her remember that Hector still loves her, but it didn't work. She's now forgotten about him. Everybody bring into the room. Her grandma right there. Everybody upset. That's when Miguel starts to sing "Remember Me." That's when Grandma Coco starts to remember the song, which triggered her memory. And finally, she remembers her father, which everybody sees her finally remembering. She opens her drawer, which turns out she has a photo of Hector, the one that that was torn from the portrait, and soon started talking about shows the list of music, which she got the letters that she received from Hector, which actually contains the music that he wrote. A year later, we pan to Ernesto's tomb, which it says "Forget You," and at the Rivera at the Rivera business, we get to see people touring at the Rivera homestead, where we see the guitar, including all the letters, which contain the songs that Hector wrote. Now again, his recognition. Miguel is showing the ofrenda to his new baby sister of all the relatives who have passed, explaining. His grandmother shows up and puts a portrait of Grandma Coco, who later passed away. And yeah, back in the land of the dead, Hector, nervous, passes through customs. Finally, his foes in the ofrenda. After years, he manages to reunite with his family and also reunite with Coco after years of separation. They manage to get to their home, they celebrate, and Miguel finally got his dream to become a musician. And that was Coco. And I tell you the truth, this was a movie that will make you cry because if you have a good relationship with your grandma or even your great grandma, this is a movie for you. But let me know what you think. By the comments down below, tell me what was your favorite song from the movie and what scene by giving a like to the video, and I'll see you next time. See ya.